The first solid evidence for the expansion of the universe was discovered by Georges Lemaître in 1927. He was a Belgian and he published his paper in French. So this was a little unfortunate because it meant that it was largely ignored by the scientific community at the time, who was at least the English-speaking community. In 1929, Edwin Hubble rediscovered exactly the same thing as Georges Lemaître had already published. Both these physicists had found that all galaxies appear to be redshifted when we observe them here from Earth. And the galaxies which were further away appeared to be redshifted more. So as you hopefully remember from the Doppler shift equation, if something is redshifted, it means that its wavelength has increased, and this implies that it has a velocity away from the observer. So this discovery implied that galaxies were all moving away from the Earth, and galaxies which were further from the Earth were moving away faster. So this relationship is now known as Hubble's law. Hubble's law can be written as V is equal to HR, where V is the recession velocity, h is equal to Hubble's constant, and r is the distance to the galaxy from Earth. So h has been measured and is now known to be 71.0 kilometers per second per megaparsec. Now, a parsec is a unit of distance that astronomers use quite a lot. It comes about because of the parallax of the stars and planets as the Earth goes around its orbit. So 1 parsec is the distance to a star, which when measured from the Earth at one point on its orbit and at another point 1 AU distance from that point, the star has moved by 1 arc second. So if all galaxies are now moving away from us, if we wind the clock back, it suggests that in the past the galaxies were closer together. And if we can wind the clock back far enough, we can imagine a point in time when all galaxies were literally at the same point in space. So this point in space, at this distant time in the past, is now known as the Big Bang. So we'll look at some other evidence for the Big Bang as well.